Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
And welcome to the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We are located at 231 FM 1092, Safford, Texas, 77477. Class days and times have not deviated. Monday, Wednesday, 7 to 9, Friday, 6 to 8, Shabbat, 10 to 2. We got another location out in Virginia, 2610 Granby Street. All their info is right there on the poster. Another location out in Rochester. And if you're gonna watch their classes when they're aired, just make sure you take note that it's Eastern Standard Time. And we have another location out here in Texas, which is in San Antonio, Texas, and their info is there on the poster as well. We have other ways of staying connected through the Blog Talk Radio with Brother Mashaba, Jonabad, and Tazapah. They're holding that down. blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. Very good classes. We got other YouTube channels with our school. Of course, the Houston channel, the Virginia channel, the San Antonio channel, and we have the Rochester channel, which is still the newer channel. And what we're trying to do is get the subscriptions up for the Rochester channel. So go to your YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe for the Rochester channel, so we can get those subscriptions up and they can start doing classes live out there. All right. We have kids class on Sundays at 2 p.m. So if you got small children, 13 and under, get them in the class or have them watch. Passover garments, check the link in the description on the YouTube. And the final payment for your Passover garment needs to be made by November 30th. So all the information on how to send that garment money in is there in the link. The upcoming feast is Day of Atonement, and that's going to start October 4th. So that's right around the corner. October 4th is going to be Day of Atonement. And, we'll go into that and explain more about that. Israelware, if you want to get a Fringe Up subscription, $35. Contact the sisters there at isbhbk.com/fringed up. We got Hebrew Academy on Mondays in Rochester and Virginia. And we got Hebrew Academy out here on Tuesdays. If you want to reach a priest or teacher, you can reach Priest Kazakia at 757-300-4047. Or you can reach Priest Quatazat at 303-557-8979. Text only during class. We got a business, Sweet Ambiance. It's another way to get something, but you'll still be giving it to school and supporting at the same time. Sweet Ambiance, aromatherapeutic oils, your cologne, perfume, fragrances. And then we also have the Chosen Creation. And you can check that out on Etsy. Chosen Creation, so you can get like some jewelry, some custom jewelry from Israelware type jewelry at Chosen Creation. If you want to give any donations, you can put that into the Wells Fargo account, or you can Cash App, Zelle, Google Wallet, whatever your preferred method of monetary transactions. All that right there is on the poster. If you want to send any supplies to the school, Bibles, dictionaries, apocryphas, hit up Priest Quatazat and he'll give you a good address to mail these items. Because we're not always here at the school like 100% of the time, so we don't want to miss out on anything that you might send to us. So please hit up Priest Quatazat and he'll give you a good address where you can mail any items. All right.
Alrighty. All right. Shalom, y'all. So today's class is going to be titled "The End Is Near." So we're just gonna be touching on today just everything that's like going on in the world, the state of the world, and the destruction that's coming that the Bible speaks of, and then what it is that we should be doing to make sure that we don't get caught up in this destruction. What kind of inspired this class was what happened yesterday. Did y'all see what happened yesterday? World News? Anybody?
No, because they barely showed it.
They did barely show it, huh?
Yeah, they barely showed it.
So what happened yesterday was, y'all know Ukraine and Russia's at war, right? So Russia has this, they got this oil line, no, this gas line that flows from, where does it flow from Russia to where, Germany?
It goes from Russia to Germany in the Baltic Sea.
So it's underneath the ocean. It cost Russia $24 billion to make this pipeline, this gas line, right? So, long story short, your guy Joe Biden, back in February, he had said that, this was before Russia had went into Ukraine, he had said that if Russia goes into Ukraine, that pipeline is not gonna stay. It's not gonna be there. And the reporter was like, how y'all gonna do that? That ain't y'all pipeline, pretty much. And he was like, one way or another, that pipeline is not gonna be there.
He said, well, we're going to bring it to an end. It's called the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Because there's a 1 and a 2.
Then the one is here in America, right?
The 1 is messed up too.
But isn't it here in America or no?
I think that's out there too.
Like the one that
think
goes
it's
from
in the same
Alaska?
area.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because I think Russia controlled both, but that one was messed up too, and Russia like shut it down.
Okay.
So, anyways, just to let y'all know what this gas line is about. They blew it up yesterday, so you could like look it up. You can see it on the news. You just see like the water, the ocean in this certain spot is just bubbling because it's hot.
It's two
So
spots.
it's that's where the other spot was at. So it's just hot. It's just bubbling. So any animal, fish that crosses that, they're gonna die because it's just releasing a lot of gas. So this is why that's important. That's important because that gas line, it was gonna be supplying all of Europe with their gas. So y'all know Europe does what when it gets cold? I mean, I gave it away. During the wintertime, Europe gets cold. It starts snowing, it freezes, all that, right? So the way the people stay warm over there is through these different gas lines that come that supplies their heat. Just like if you got a gas stove, you turn that stove on, the gas gives you, it makes you be able to light your stove. Mm-hmm. Right now in Europe, they got an energy crisis because they was getting everything from Russia. Russia went to war, they're boycotting Russia. So now, pretty much, they about to freeze. They about to be freezing. So that gas line that blew up yesterday, Germany said it's an act of war. Now we already know Russia and Ukraine is at war. Y'all got to see that's almost equivalent to when they hit the Twin Towers. That's $24 billion going down the drain, and that sucker's leaking still right now. So, you know, that's kind of what inspired this class because it's not going to take much. It's not going to take much for it to come over here. Now, I got some stuff written down, some notes on some of the nuclear weapons that Russia got, and it's going to surprise some of y'all. So, with that being said, let's start this class, man. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. So, the title of the class is "The End is Near." We're going to be touching on some things today. We're going to start at Hebrews 12, 16. This first point is going to be titled, Esau is Fallen. For those that don't know, Esau in the Bible is a so-called white man. Esau, Caucasians.
So all the Russians, all the Germans, all the Ukrainians, all the Italians, they're all the same people.
Yep.
All the Americans, they're all considered Caucasian.
Yep.
Right? They all come from the Caucasus Mountains of Russia, minor, but they all come from their same forefather,
Which is Esau.
Right? So when the scriptures talk about Esau, it's remember, everybody has a biblical identity that they don't teach us in school, they don't teach us in church. Mm-hmm. That's one of the main reasons why we got to do what we do, because nationality is important. You got to know the players on the board.
Yep.
And if you don't know who you are, that's why we're lost. If you don't know who everybody else is, that's why you're lost.
Yep.
The sad part is they know who they are. They'll tell you. Right? The East Indians and the Middle Easterners, they'll tell you who their forefathers are. So it's important that we know the different people that the Bible is speaking of today.
Yep. All right, so let's read Hebrews 12, 16.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16.
Go ahead.
lest there be any fornicator
Uh-huh.
or profane person
Uh-huh.
as Esau.
As who?
As Esau.
So, I wanted to start here just to show brothers and sisters and remind brothers and sisters that already know that the Most High calls Esau a fornicator and a profane person, right? So, I know we got a couple new people in class. Again, remember, Esau is the forefather of the Caucasians. So he's calling them profane and he's calling them a fornicator, right? Let me look up profane real quick. Profane means, it says, profane means I don't even know how to say that word.
Let me see.
Irreverent
Irreverent.
to anything sacred, not sacred, polluted, not pure, not holy. So read verse 16 again.
Lest there be any fornicator
Uh-huh.
or profane person
Uh-huh.
as Esau.
So when the Bible says that this man is profane, it means he's not pure, he's not sacred, he's obscene. And just ask yourself, who on the earth today, what race of people on the earth today is not pure, unholy, obscene? They don't care about nothing sacred. It says a man is profane when he takes the name of God in vain. Think about it. Think about how they've taken the Most High's name in vain. They painted you a white Jesus, white angels. They stole your identity and lied to you, put you through slavery, put you in slavery and oppression in America, but tell you that in God we trust, right? Got transvestites teaching schools, got transvestites doing drag shows to little kindergartners, right? So I wanted to start off with this because this class is about these people and their end, right?
Let me ask a quick question. Y'all watch movies, right? You watch like God. What was it like? The movie they did with Noah.
Noah.
They did the gods. What was it called? Egypt
Gods of Egypt.
Right. Do you ever wonder why? You ever wonder how can they be the Egyptians? How they can be the Chinese? How they can be the Japanese? How they can be black people? Do you ever wonder how they can portray themselves as every race? Y'all ever wonder that? And literally get away with it. Say what?
What do you mean by that?
What I mean is, how are you the Prince of Egypt, but you put a white man as the representation? How are you the last samurai and put a white man, right?
Last
We know,
Mohicans.
first of all, the first samurais were black people. If you want to go into that history, the first samurais, to be a samurai, you have to have black blood. That's a fact. You could go to the Japanese museum; they'll tell you that. But how can you put yourself as and perpetrate every race and every culture under the planet, and then move people around? There's a reason why he said that he was profane, because he's the only man that can go into someone else's land, steal who they are, move them out, and then tell them when they can come back in. Think about that. Ain't that what our people are going through, trying to get into the borders of America? Think about that. America was their land first. Let's be real. All the people trying to get back in talking about green cards, America was theirs first. Then someone came in. Just ask yourself, who's the only person or the only sect of people or race of people that has, when you look at it, just look across the globe, they have total control of the world. And look at the things that they inflict on people.
Yep.
Right? Who's telling you to get abortions in America, but then telling you not to get abortions? Right? Who's giving out the crack and the guns? Right? The hood got guns, right? What gun distributor do we have in Texas? What gun manufacturer do we have in Texas? I'm pretty sure Smith & Wesson is a white dude. I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, all these gun manufacturers, it ain't us. So how we getting them? Y'all ever ask yourselves these questions? They're important. If we don't ask, then who's asking? And the more you ask, the more the scriptures will come to life. The more you ask the questions, what is the scripture saying about a vile and what? Profane?
Profane person.
Profane person. What is it saying? Well, it said that he's irreverent to anything holy.
It says an infidel, pagan.
Infidel means lack of faith or not faithful to their word. A pagan, right?
It's just devil worship.
What was it? Irreverent to anything sacred or holy.
Yeah.
What man do we know through the scriptures that sold his entire birthright for his greed of his belly? We didn't do that. We stood, and now we back here trying to fight for who we are. You gotta. One of the things I was talking to Kazak today, and one of the things it was on my mind. I was like, a lot of people don't understand how real the Bible is, and you don't know what's going on in the world because, think about it. We asked y'all a question about, did y'all hear about this oil line getting blown up? No, right? Because they'd rather give you who the Boston Celtics coach is sleeping with, who he's cheating on. They'd rather give you NBA Media Day, Football Sunday, BET Awards coming up, what rapper got shot, what rapper didn't get shot. You're more concerned with that. And then when these stories come up, like I watched the news yesterday purposely looking for this story. And guess what they did? They gave it 5 seconds, literally.
Yeah.
In international news, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline has a leak. But we'll further investigate and get back to y'all soon. That was it. But the Boston Celtics head coach and who he's sleeping with, that gets front page news.
Yeah.
And it gets all this coverage. But what's that doing for any one of us? I don't care who he's sleeping with. I don't care if he got fired. I don't care if he got suspended. They'll bamboozle you with all this news. That's another part of their profaneness. They'll bamboozle you with the wrong news to keep you occupied here while they give you the sleight of hand over here.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, that's why I wanted to touch on this class, because people don't see, like, the seriousness of it. You got to see, man, Germany was like, this is an act of war, because let me tell y'all something about what's going on in Europe. I was telling them, like, last week, they don't got no gas for heat. So right now, they're chopping down trees. People are going out chopping down trees so that they could have some wood to last them through the winter, and so that they could have some wood to eat, be able to use the wood for their fire. They're spending up to 3 days in line to get it to be able to make it to this coal factory, so that they could have coals, so that they could keep themselves warm for when this winter storm, not just a winter storm, but just when the winter comes. Y'all see what I'm saying? So this was a big thing that happened. Why? Because Russia spent $24 billion on that. And they're trying to say that Russia did it themselves. But think about it. If Russia, they could have just turned it off.
Which they did.
Why would they just blow it up?
Which they did. It was
and
off.
they did turn it off. It wasn't
There
flowing.
was no gas going through Nord Stream 2.
So why would they just blow up their own thing that they spent $24 billion on? But see, that's what they're gonna tell us over here, because it's propaganda for us to hate Russia. And when war is declared, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go fight Russia, and you ain't even gonna know why we gonna fight Russia. You see what I'm saying? But everywhere else, people know that America did it. People know, but here we won't know. You see what I'm saying? You're hitting the dark, like he said. But let's go into this. I got a couple more topics I want to talk about. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. Let's go to 2nd Esdras real quick. Give me 1 second.
And while they're blowing up, listen,
6 and 7.
while they blow up this pipeline for Germany, do you know that the U.S. is currently in Syria stealing oil and then sending it over to Iraq to get filtered and distributed? They don't see, these are the things they don't tell you in the news. That they over there in Syria stealing their oil. And then secretly smuggling it out into Iraq and these other places to distribute it throughout the world.
Y'all know they turned Syria into a refugee place? Like, all those people, thanks to America, had to run and leave Syria. Y'all want to see what a war looks like? Go on YouTube and look up Syria. And you'll see a war. Like, a lot of people don't even know Syria's at war.
Nope.
Raise your hand if you knew Syria was at war.
They stay at war.
Syria's been at war since I was in high school. Or I think the war started when I was in high school. Raise your hand if you know Ethiopia was at war right now. They got a big civil war.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Ethiopia got a big civil war.
China and Taiwan.
Raise your hand if you know China's about to go to war with Taiwan.
No, they're not going to go to
Taiwan.
war. They're going to invade them. That's not a war.
Yeah, they just gonna take them.
They're just going to take They just going to take that. There ain't going to be no war.
But did y'all know that Biden said that if China does that, we will retaliate militarily. He said militarily.
Yep.
So y'all got to see, man, like the times that we're living in right now, it's very, very, like we're on thin ice. You see what I'm saying? What y'all think? Inflation is gonna disappear anytime soon? The U.S. Treasury, what is his name? I forgot his name. Anthony, I don't know.
Anthony Blinken? No, that's the...
I forgot the U.S. Treasury dude's name. He said that things ain't gonna return to normal till 2024, as far as inflation. But in the meantime, they're gonna raise interest rates, meaning that everything is gonna go up. If you're looking for a house, if you're looking for an apartment, if you're looking to buy a car, if you're looking for any bank loan, the prices for everything is just gonna be out the roof. Out the roof, and they don't expect things to return to normal, to begin to start returning to normal until 2024.
Stephen Munchett?
And it might not return till, it might not happen in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because you're being distracted with who watches TV, right? Do you get all the political slander, all the vote Democrat, vote Republican? You get all that, right? So while you're trying to figure out who to vote for, guess what they're doing? They're lowering those gas prices. And when you go to the pump and you fill up and you're feeling great, you're like, oh my gosh, they're looking out for us. Who should I? And you're sitting there really contemplating, like, do I vote Demi or Republican? And you're like, well, obviously it got to be the Democrats that's in power now, that's controlling the gas and getting it down. So let me vote for the Democrats.
Yep.
Right? But then what happens is after they get your little vote,
With some midterms.
after they get your little vote and you feel all good at the ballot and you registered and you did all that crap, guess what happens to your gas price? That boy is going up.
Yeah.
Especially since they've been going into the reserve to get the prices to go down. They said that reserve will never be restocked. So think about it. Think about the sleight of hand. Even when they try to do good, they still do evil.
Yeah.
Everything that the so-called white man has ever presented to us here in America and any other country has been to our detriment.
Yep.
When it comes to religion, when it comes to the food we eat, when it comes to the music we listen to. You got a lot of rappers now saying, look, they use crack to destroy black people in the 80s and 90s. Now they're using music. These rappers are admitting it, that they're using the music to destroy the community. Yeah. But who's pumping the music? Who's Leo Corin? That a black dude?
Nope.
Oh. Who's Jimmy Iovine? Black man? Nope. These are the heads of Interscope and these big distribution, Sony, Tommy Mottola, and all these guys.
Record labels.
They're the execs of record labels that say, you know what? They look at an artist and they say, this is the way you're gonna go with your music. They point the direction. So think about it. Why do we got drill rap? Or the question you should ask is, should we not have drill rap? Look what's going on with the drill rappers. Look what's going on with the rap scene. How come nobody's telling these dudes to tuck your jewelry? Be safe when you go out there. Here, let's get you a bodyguard. No, but what they do is put $1 million life insurance on these rappers. Just go look it up. All them rappers that have been dying, they all come from the same label. All got policies on their heads. King Von, P&B Rock,
they name rappers. That's Mo 3.
Mo 3, yeah, he was part of them.
Yeah.
There's like 9 rappers on that label. Triple X, he died. He got shot up. It's like 9 rappers on that label. Go look it up, or on that distribution. And they got policies on them. So when they die, who collects? It ain't the family. But wouldn't it be more of an investment to give them a bodyguard? To say, hey, do things the proper way. You ain't got to flash. Save your money. But who's teaching them that? Is it profitable? See, it's a sleight of hand. We'll toss you a bag, but we got a bigger bag on you. Think about that. Think about that logic. Yeah, we'll throw you a $300,000-$400,000 advance so you can buy your mama a house. Because that's all niggas want to do anyway. Buy their mama a house and buy a nice car.
Y'all do know you got to pay the advance back, right?
That's all it is. It's a loan.
with interest.
It's a huge loan.
The interest.
It's a huge loan.
It's called an
That's
advance for a
exactly-
reason.
Yeah. But think about it. You gonna buy, after you buy some whack chain, a little whack sports car, and your mama a little crib, guess what? Advance gone. And you ain't gonna see no checks for the next 4 or 5 years. Right? But they're not saying save the money. But they give you $300,000-$400,000, but they got $1 million on you in an insurance policy. Think about that. You got to look into these things deeper to see, man, wait a minute, who's benefiting? Who's profiting? It ain't us. That's the point. And the more you get caught up in, we all got our little soap operas that we get caught up in. And we all got our heads, certain things we keep our heads in the cloud with. And the more that happens, the less you'll see what's really going on.
Yep. Come on. Let's go here, man. Go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 7. You're going to read down, okay?
2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
So, what's going to be the end, pretty much? Go ahead.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
So, when is this world going to end? And the next world that's coming going to start?
Everybody got an apocrypha? All right, okay. Okay, so the apocrypha, real quick, we got new people in class. The apocrypha is the 13 books that were removed out of the Bible. So the 13 Old Testament books. So what we're in is Ezra, right? Or Esdras, but it's Ezra that you know from the Bible. All right? So really, without these other 13 books, you're not going to understand a lot of the Old Testament and all of the New Testament. That's why a lot of our people are so lost, because they don't have these extra books that are part of the King James Bible. If you look at it, authorized King James version, okay, because this is part of the King James 1611 Bible. It just was removed by the Romans, because there's a lot of history that show a lot of the atrocities that the Romans did. All right, so just so y'all know what y'all are reading.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's head held first the hill of Esau.
So if you know that story of Jacob and Esau, when they were born, they were twins. Esau came out first. Jacob's hand was holding on to Esau's heel because they were fighting over the birthright, right? So Jacob is our forefather. Esau is the so-called white man's forefather. So Esau came out first. So technically, he should have the birthright, right? So,
Which he did.
just like a king, right? If you're a king, you got 3 sons. The firstborn son, he has the birthright to your throne, to your kingdom. So
Here, yeah.
So that's why in Hebrews 12 and 16 it says that lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Why? Because the so-called white man's forefather, Esau, he sold his birthright to our forefather for some uncooked meat. Just like today, the so-called white man likes to eat what? Uncooked meat. When they go to the restaurants, what do they eat? Rare steak. Rare steak.
Bloody.
I remember it was an episode of King of the Hill, man, where they had like a little steak eating competition, and the son, Bobby, he was going in eating the steak, and you just seen the blood just running down his,
Wow.
it was just running down his mouth. But that's what that's going into. So when it says that, back in Ezra, where it says his hand grabbed hold of Esau's heel, it was because they were fighting. They both wanted to come out first so that they could have the heir to the throne. Esau, the so-called white man, sold the throne to our forefather. So read on.
Verse 9.
Uh-huh.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Read that again.
For Esau is the end of the world.
And guess what? We living in the end of the world. Now, remember what I just talked about. They wanted the kingdom. You wanted to be the heir to the throne. So right now, if you look at the earth, who has dominion, rulership, and kingdom on the and runs the kingdom on the earth? Who? Esau.
Who?
What race of people?
Well, let's look at it like this. What three countries run the world?
United Kingdom, United States, and Britain.
Well, that United Kingdom and Britain is the same, but he got 2 out of the 3. What's the next one?
Russia.
Yeah, them 3 countries run the world.
Yep.
It's the UK, it's the USA, and it's Russia. Those are the 3. China comes in a close 4th. But if it goes down, ain't nobody talking about China. It's US and Russia and Britain.
China like just stepped it up.
Yeah, China
Like, just
barely
about
just got up
history.
in there. They still starving.
Yeah.
They got to get they weight up a little bit. You know what I mean? They famishing out there, but they got the numbers. But when it comes to the technology and the weapons, bro, it's the U.S. and Russia. I mean, come on. Who had a Cold War? Who was competing for missiles? Yeah. Who at one point controlled 45% of the world's population and had them as tributaries? It was Britain. You see them crown jewels? Who watched when the Queen died and saw a glimpse of the crown? You talking about $20-something billion crown? They couldn't even. They say it's priceless. Think about that. You think they just out of nowhere those jewels just appeared? There's no jewels in Europe. It's the bottomless pit. There's no resources in Europe.
Nope.
So where did they get that from? Well, all the other countries that they had in slavery. Remember, the Brits, them families had black people and damn near half the world as slaves. So you got to know who's in control. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So you see, it says Esau is the end of the world. So when you saw this man in power, this is a good idea. This is a good way for you to know who Esau is too, because all you got to look, you see, you're in the end of the world, and you get to see who's in power. But guess what? The scripture says that our kingdom is the one that's following Esau's, right? Read verse 10.
The hand of man is betwixt the hill and the hand.
Go ahead.
Other question.
Jump to verse 17. My bad.
And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up upon my feet.
Go ahead.
And hearkened. And behold, there was a voice that spake. There was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters.
Now, who has a voice like the sound of many waters? Yahushua, right?
Who y'all know as Christ, right?
Go ahead.
And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
So you see that? The days come where Yahushua or that's who we ignorantly call Jesus Christ, right? It says that the days is coming where he's going to begin to draw near upon the earth, right? Somebody give me that scripture that says, I will not visit thee as a man. Somebody get that scripture. And you can read on again.
And
Verse
and
19.
to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
Go ahead.
And will begin to make inquisition of them. What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled.
So all this is, so he gave you like three clues, right? At the end of times, he's going to begin to draw near, and he's going to start visiting them that hurt unjustly those that are righteous. And also it says that our affliction is about to be fulfilled. You got that, Mike?
Time.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Oh, dang, do I have this?
Yea.
Yeah, what is he saying about the nakedness? Well, the shame, all the filth that the so-called white man has done in this earth for all that time, all the slaveries, all the killings, all the robbery, all the murder. Just look at it. Look how America was founded. What was it founded on? Everybody knows it. The backs of slaves. Blood, sweat, tears.
Yeah.
You cannot erase that. You can't take it out of your history books. And even if you want to, read it again.
Thy nakedness shall be
It's
uncovered.
all gonna be uncovered at some point. Go ahead.
Yea. Thy shame shall be seen.
Read.
I will take vengeance.
I will what?
I will take vengeance.
Go ahead.
And I will not meet thee as a man.
Ooh, you see that? So Yahweh Shai said he's going to take vengeance and not meet us as a man, right? So how is he going to meet us then? Go to 2nd Esdras chapter 9. You're going to start at verse 1. 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1.
Yeah, we get it all super twisted up. Oh, Mother Nature, or it's a coincidence, or that's just the way things are, and coronavirus was man-made. Like all the things we try to take the Most High and Christ out of what He's doing. We got to stop doing that. You better give Him His credit.
God.
You better let Him. You better let the Most High have that glory. The monkeypox, it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, man, they be doing that. Like
SARS,
climate change.
climate change. You think climate change is real? Come on now. You mean to tell me that the Most High God that created the sun can't control it? All of a sudden the sun and the moon are just out of sync with God? Y'all tripping. He said He got angels on the sun turning that heat up. Y'all believe that?
Definitely believe that.
He said He got angels on the sun turning that heat up to burn men, to burn the wicked. Ain't no climate change. Ain't no, oh, it's too hot. I'm good. Look, I got long sleeves on this summer. I love the heat.
You know what's funny, man? You know how they say they was talking about climate change, but Houston had this freeze. And it just makes me think, man, like, dang, I bet the Most High, like, they talking about climate change. I bet the Most High, yes, He's going to make it hot during the summer, but I bet during the winter, He's just going to make it colder.
But He
It's
does.
like,
I noticed that I've been here 8 years, and every year that I've been here, it gets colder and colder every winter. For me, I'm like, yo, it's getting colder and colder. Like, come on, wasn't there a time in Texas where you didn't need a winter jacket?
God.
Now you got to rock a whole North Face, winter bubble jacket, goose down, triple fat. You got to have the gloves on, the ski cap.
gotta be ready.
Come on, like, anybody in here own a scraper for your windows?
Lot.
Bro, I remember I broke ice off my car this thick. I couldn't even open the trunk.
Damn.
And when it broke, the ice was this thick, the ice sheet that was last year. I was dealing with that in Colorado.
It sounded like something broke off the
It
car.
sounded like the windows, like the windows broke. I'm talking about that ice was this thick, no joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, am I in Texas or am I back in Colorado? Am I in New York? That's New York stuff.
Yeah.
But what is He doing? Why are these so-called anomalies? Think about how many hurricanes hit last year. That was the year of the most named storms in history. Right? Look at what's going on now. Florida's getting touched. I keep telling y'all, Texas been escaping.
Texas been escaping.
Louisiana got rocked last year.
Oh, yeah.
Texas, if you look at what's going on in Texas, all these killings, all these drugs,
Yeah.
all these kidnappings and murders and rapes, Texas is next. Something's going to hit Texas. The Most High is going to send something through that Gulf Coast. Where you thought Katrina was bad, Texas is going to get something worse than Katrina. Y'all better be ready. I'm telling y'all.
Or Harvey.
Or worse than Harvey. I'm telling y'all because Texas has been escaping for the last few years. Everything that was supposed to hit Texas last year did what?
Went to Louisiana.
Louisiana. Oh, on the way to Texas. Oh, Louisiana. Lake Charles.
on Lake Charles.
Oh, on the way to like 4 or 5 storms that was supposed to hit. Texas is escaping. This ain't a good place. If you look at what's going on, just watch the news.
Yep.
No place is good. But for some reason, the Most High keeps diverting the destruction.
And all that means, like it says in Maccabees, he's just letting the wickedness build up.
Yeah.
So that he could really lash out.
Another thing that I've been noticing is just like as the days of Egypt and when we were delivered out then, and how Pharaoh kept denying that the Most High is the Most High.
Right.
It's like how y'all was bringing out, like they want to blame it on global warming. Oh, it's because we did too much fishing in this area that caused this, or it's because too much of emissions, and they make up all these excuses.
Cow farts.
Right.
Too many cows.
What was that called?
Methane.
Methane. Too much methane in the air. They make up all these scientific excuses to deny the Most High. And the Most High is going to get his glory. So guess what? He going to turn it up. And he going to turn it up. You going to keep denying me? Well, guess what? I'm going to show you even more that it's me until you can't deny it without a shadow of a fact. Like, have you ever seen a fire hurricane? A fire cyclone?
Never.
Never. There was one last year.
There was two of them.
Yeah, it was two of them last year. It's a cyclone.
So the fire tornado?
Yeah, fire tornado. Fire tornado ripping through the Midwest.
I think it
Ripping
was
through the United States.
Like Iowa or something like that.
Yeah, it's a weird area.
Yep.
Fire tornadoes. I was like, oh, you can't say you don't want to contribute that to the Most High? Okay, well guess what? I'm gonna set California on fire all year long.
Flood Texas, Mississippi, freeze the north, right? And then when I do give you water, I'm gonna just flood you out.
Okay. Oh, you want water?
What was that?
Yeah.
Ezra 6 that you went to? The first one.
So
6 of weapons.
So that's what I see, and that's how I notice the Most High is ramping things up.
And let me add one thing before you jump. Remember, we said that the destruction, the Most High is not just ripping the place apart. Why? Because he's giving us a chance to do what?
Get right.
To do what?
Get right.
Yeah, but don't y'all know that grace and mercy ain't forever? When a person dies, that ain't grace.
Nope.
That they're dead. Right? When a person succumbs to whatever negative they're giving themselves to, there ain't no more grace. There ain't no more, oh, let me get right. He said it, you can't worship me in the grave. So what does that mean? That we gotta get on top of it now. Like I know y'all think we crazy. Like, man, I remember 20 years ago coming into the truth. Like, oh, you crazy? You conspiracy theorists. Show me the conspiracy now. When that Rona hit, when that 9/11 hit, when all them things hit, cats was where did they run to? That church. They ran right to. Let me run back to God. Right?
Yep.
There ain't no conspiracy now because it's happening too often and too frequently. You can charge it to whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it's all going to go back to the Most High.
That's right.
Right? So read where you at.
Oh, you know what? Actually, don't read. I wanted to hit this because we just read where it said the Most High, Yahweh Shah, was not giving us as a man. So check this out. I got some notes here of everything that happened like within the last year.
Oh, right.
Do y'all know that? What's the number one killer for young people here in America? Let's see who can guess it. It's the number one killer.
What age group? When you say young, what age group?
Under 30. Let's say under 30. Let's say 25 and under 30.
HIV.
Not HIV.
Under 30.
Not guns.
Car accidents.
Not car accidents. I'll tell y'all. It's fentanyl.
Yeah.
Oh!
Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Fentanyl is killing all young folks right now.
And they got a new
It's
one.
fentanyl.
They got a new one called candy fentanyl. It looked like Skittles. It's different colored fentanyl.
Dang.
Yeah.
And people are already threatening to put that in the candy for Halloween. So you can let your kids go out there if you want. You know,
Yeah.
fentanyl's a thing. If you touch it, you die.
You touch it too much. I was watching how Issachar makes it. How they like infuse it with all the other drugs down there in the morning.
Yeah.
The dude was talking about how two of the people because they was mixing it with heroin.
Yeah.
So he's over the thing like this, He's like, yeah, man, 2 of us died last week.
What the?
And I'm like,
all casual, like,
hey, he's like, 2 of us died doing this last week, man. And then he stopped, and then he went to hit the code. And then the dude was like, why are you hitting the code? He was like, because it balances out.
the fentanyl.
Because even though he's like, masked up,
First of
still
all,
feels
he
the
got a
heat.
piece of rusty rag on his face. He ain't got no real equipment, right? He got the make your own Corona mask with all the holes in it. Come on, a bandana. You're dealing with real chemicals.
Yeah.
There was a time when you touched fentanyl, it would kill you. What's that?
They're also doing it on the Nerds candy.
Right.
The Nerds and the Skittles.
Yeah, put a candy fentanyl. Who are they? But ask yourself this: who are they trying to appeal to? Yeah, but why? Why would I want to give kids fentanyl?
To destroy the youth.
To do what?
To destroy the youth.
Right. But think about it. Think about it. If I wipe out the kids, what's left? There is no future.
There's no, yeah.
There is no hope for anything.
Dang.
You gotta see who's.
I got
Yes,
for that.
yes, we're the ones down at the border cooking it and doing all that crap, right? But where did that come from? I think China is the biggest importer of fentanyl anyway.
It's China and Germany.
China and where?
In Germany.
Yeah. How the hell you cooking fentanyl but you ain't got no gas? How you importing fentanyl but you ain't got no gas to power houses but you got fentanyl? Think about that.
Yep.
Does it even make sense? Germany ain't got no gas, no natural gas to heat homes in their country, but they got enough power to cook fentanyl and send it over here to the U.S. to destroy who? Who's the ones that's drilling to that stuff? It's our people, man. It's our people looking for a way out and thinking that the drugs, the guns, the lifestyle, right? I want to be the 40-year-old rapper still, right? I'm selling my mixtape out the trunk, all that stuff. You think that's the way to make it, but it's not,
Yeah.
right? So what else? Go ahead.
You had a scripture you want to go to?
Oh yeah, Matthew 24 and verse 22. Because it hit my mind when Quadazat was just saying, if you destroying the youth, what's gonna be left? Well, there ain't nothing left, because the older people we gonna die off. We gonna die off, and if there's no more repopulating, because they making everyone gay, they making men sterile. All the foods is increasing the estrogen and lowering the testosterone. Men going to jail. Men being strung out on drugs. The youth not there. There's nothing left. Watch, read this.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved.
Said no flesh. If the Most High and Christ don't step in, no flesh. It didn't say no Gentiles will be saved. It didn't say no Israelites will be saved. It said no flesh. It's the end of all life existence. No flesh. No flesh means no flesh.
So yeah, your children that you love so much, well, you better get right, so they can have an example.
Done.
Your family that you love so much, you better get right, so they can have an example.
Yep. All right, so check this out too. So we had the fentanyl, right? We talked about the Nord Stream pipeline. So you want to know something I heard somebody say when I was like listening to this whole Nord Stream thing? It was like, how can Russia get back at America for what they did, right?
Ooh.
You realize that, you know how they tell you like the satellites is all over the place? Mm-hmm. And that's where like the signals bounce from the satellites and all that? That's not necessarily true. Because what we do is we run our things under the ocean too.
Yeah. Yes.
A lot of your internet
All
and
of it.
all that, your GPS, that's
All of
ran under the ocean as well.
All of it. Yep.
So if y'all didn't know, just like there's gas lines that ran
It's huge.
from Russia, there's a whole huge
Yeah, that's how they get internet across that.
Across.
There's internet lines that go from New York and they go all the way to Spain.
Yeah.
They go all the way to Africa. That's how they get internet across the world. It's not a satellite. It's underwater pipes.
So they was talking about the dude that said all they got to do is destroy the one that goes from America to Britain,
And that's it.
and it's going to disconnect all the banking, because remember, America is still connected to Britain.
Yeah.
So it was like he'll knock out two countries with one stone. He'll knock out Britain and he'll knock out America. So once he does that, if he does that, understand that that's it. Your GPS, if you don't know how to get around without a GPS, your internet, all that gone. If he chooses to do the same thing that they did to him. So I wanted to talk about also the recession. Y'all know we pretty much in a recession. They ain't gonna say it in the news because, you know, Joe Biden. They gonna cater to Joe Biden as much as possible. But we're pretty much in a recession. And the way the economy looks, they were saying that the way the economy looks, that y'all heard of the Depression, the Great Depression that had happened way back after World War II? Mm-hmm. That's what, you know, y'all watch Titanic, right? Mm-hmm. So remember after it was about to be all over and they got off the boat, and remember the lady, she looked and she saw old boy walk by? Mm-hmm. If you remember that, she had said that he killed himself because of the Depression. The Great Depression had hit shortly after the Titanic, and he lost everything, and he killed himself. She said that in the movie. But anyways, the Great Depression, they said that what's coming here is going to be way worse than the Great Depression. So just going over this so y'all can kind of prepare, I guess, a little bit mentally for what's to come. Y'all know that they're trying to transition away, like a lot of countries are trying to transition away from the dollar and just paper money in general and move to digital currency. So it's like rumored that a lot of places is trying to crash their economy on purpose so that they could just move to digital. So that means that you ain't gonna be like the rapper Blueface.
You gonna be what, digital face?
You're gonna have a digital face. But seriously, they're seriously trying to do that. So
Come on, they give you incentives to use digital. Like I know, like one of my banks, one of my cards, if you do like the digital wallet,
mm-hmm.
they'll give you cash back if you do that, as opposed to using money or anything like cash money.
got it.
Oh yeah, they do that with the Apple Card. Like you get 3% cash back if you use the tap versus actually using the card.
Using the card or cash. Yeah, they're pushing things towards that way.
All right, y'all, check this out. Somebody give me, you can give me Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. So we're gonna go into this next point. We're gonna talk about the destructions that's gonna be coming. Check this out. Russia got a bomb. They got the craziest land bomb ever, and they also got the craziest, what do you call the water? Amphibious? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They got the craziest water bomb. I'm gonna just say it like that ever too. So they got a bomb. I was telling them about it. It's called Poseidon. Is that how you say that Greek god's name?
Poseidon, yeah.
Poseidon, right? So they call it Canyon, but it's called Poseidon as well. So that bomb right there, that missile that they got under the water, that lodges into a tectonic plate, and when it explodes, it's gonna cause a tsunami. They say the tsunami is gonna be about 500 meters. Somebody look up how tall 500 meters is. Oh, by the way, it's a nuclear tsunami. So the water that's gonna be coming is nuclear. But the wave is gonna be 500 meters high from this bomb. You know what's funny is when I was researching that, they actually showed that in the news in Great Britain. That like Russia actually, that's where they talked about it. How tall is 500 meters? Anybody got it?
0.311 miles.
So 0.311 miles. That's how tall it is. Can I get it in feet? Can I get that in feet?
1,640 feet and 5 inches.
So you're gonna have a 1,400 and what? How tall is it? How tall is it?
1,640 feet.
So check this out. Right now in Florida, they said the wave surge will create waves 10 feet. So to give you an idea, a 10-foot wave, I'm 6 feet. So just add 4 more feet to me and that's how high the wave is. Imagine a 1,000-foot wave. Imagine, first of all, water, you can't tame the force of water. Once a wall of water is coming at you, nothing on this earth can stop that.
Yeah, ain't nothing stopping that.
There's no landmass big enough to hold that water. So a 1,000-foot wave, come on, y'all been to the beach. And them little puny waves that run up on your ankles push you through the water. You're like, oh my gosh. It's so forceful. Imagine when the whole ocean
It's coming at you.
is coming at you. And then what it does is this. It hits the surf, it hits the banks, it goes in and it grabs things and pulls it back in. And it builds up, and those things like buildings, cars, right, people,
Yeah.
they build up that wall and those things crash against everything and kill people. Y'all gotta watch when, was it Germany that flooded last year? It was. They had the worst flood in there in like 100-year history. Right? But you gotta watch how the water was just moving cars like it was nothing. Ripping gas station pumps out of the ground. Think about that. I've seen cars hit gas station pumps and they survived. But water just pulled it out the ground like it was nothing. Trees, houses, just floating down the stream. So imagine 1,000-foot, you got something pulled up.
So I want y'all to look up the Empire. Type in Google the Empire State Building. Type in the height.
One of the tallest buildings in the world.
It's 1,454 feet. That's how tall the Empire State Building is.
This was one of the tallest buildings. This was at one point the tallest building in the world. Then you got the Sears Tower, you got the World Trade Center that came and beat it. But this was one of the tallest buildings, still the tallest building in New York.
That wave is taller than that building.
Think about that. Now, if you ever been to the Empire State Building in real life, when you stand in front of it and look up, it looks like there's no end. I've been there. We used to go there on field trips.
Yeah.
Right? It's insane to think that water is gonna cover the entire Manhattan.
Just think about that, man. Just think about, you want to know what else is cool about a tsunami? You know, just think about like if you drop something in the water, there's just waves that happen. Like the water does this. So you drop something right in the middle, it just does this. It goes in, comes out, goes in, comes out, goes in, comes out. That's literally what's gonna happen. That's literally how a tsunami works. If you looked up the tsunamis that hit like the island, the Thailand islands and all that, or in India back in 2005,
Japan.
like those waves, like they come and they go back out.
Yeah.
They come and then they go back out. The first wave, of course, is the strongest. But think about this. This wave will be so high that if it's taller than the Empire State Building, I know y'all can't really see it, but the second wave is going to come almost as high too. So it's like if you was lucky to survive this, what about the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth and what about all those other waves?
All the debris that's gonna be in it.
But then also, it's a nuclear wave. The water is going to be nuclear. So
Contaminated water, yeah.
it's going to be like anything that water touches is going to be screwed. Nothing is going to grow there. It's going to be contaminated. It's going to be cancerous.
Water radiation.
That's what it is. The water is going to be radioactive. You had your hand up?
Who has this?
Russia.
That's Russia.
They also got the Satan II.
That's another bomb. They got the Satan II. So the Satan 1 wasn't enough. So they made the Satan 2. And just so y'all understand, like when the Satan 2, like say you drop that in Oklahoma, which is right above Texas, or is that Kansas City? Which one is right above? It's Oklahoma,
It's
right?
Oklahoma.
Bro, you could probably drop that bomb in Kansas City and they're gonna feel it in Mexico. They're gonna feel it in Mexico.
But the beautiful thing about that bomb is the size of a semi, but they can't detect it by radar.
Because it's so fast.
It's so fast.
Yeah. But, so y'all see when it says in Genesis that the Most High blessed Esau with the sword? Like, he really blessed Esau with the sword, because who the hell thinks of that? Like what white man sat down and said, man, I'm going to make a radioactive tsunami. I'm sorry. What black man or Latino man said, you know what, I'm going to make a radioactive tsunami? Like, who thinks of that? Who thinks about making something that the wave that's gonna come from the explosion is gonna change the earth forever and be taller than the Empire State Building? Who thinks of that?
Yeah, the sad part is the white man thinks of those, but then he gets us. Y'all know about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right?
Right.
You know that wasn't Albert Einstein, right? Y'all know that, right? You know there was a black man that built them bombs. Y'all gotta do y'all history. Einstein took the credit. The Manhattan Project, that wasn't Einstein. He's not who they tell you he is. Just look up the Manhattan Project. That was a black inventor. That was a black man. I can't get the name right now. That was a black man that built them bombs.
Yep.
Just like everything else on this earth that we've built and they've taken credit for. Down to the Colonel's 13 spices and herbs. What's that?
Well, like back in the day, like really back in the day, we really didn't have no, like we didn't have power at all. So what it looked like putting a black face on anything if we didn't have any power.
Absolutely right. It looked like it looked like what they always did. Get to the back of the bus, right? We're not gonna use your black face to represent our interests or our company. They'll use you now. They'll use you now to sing, dance, right? They'll use Magic Johnson as the shiny teeth for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They'll use Jay-Z for the Nets to make that money to get the audience. But you don't really got no stake in the game. Like for real, you know. But just look it up when you get a chance. Einstein did not. That wasn't him, man. It was a black man that was behind the curtains.
Yep.
Again, I forget the name. We could look it up. But again, who's thinking about these things?
Yeah, like who? Yeah.
Well, the man that has the blessing over the sword. Remember, the sword today is just a modern day gun, missile, whatever.
Instrument of death.
Instrument of death.
Yeah.
Right? They conceptualize how to use it to its greatest potential. But they can't bring it to fruition because the white man ain't never invented nothing. Down to your stoplight, your broom. Like they tell you Tom Edison invented what? The light bulb? No, he didn't. I was a black man. Or the phone, what is it when they send the phone calls? The board, the telephone board. It's a black man. It wasn't Tom Ed or Alexander Graham Bell. No, they lied to you. They took credit. Again, come on. They stole Tennessee whiskey. Right? Who is that? Jim Beam? Jack Daniels. They stole Tennessee whiskey from a black man. That was a black man's recipe. That just came out in the news a few years ago that was a stolen recipe. But this Jack Daniels been getting credit forever.
Yes, sir.
Come on now. But that's the problem with, they call it systematic racism. That's the problem with slavery. That's the problem with oppression. That's the problem with losing your heritage, losing who you are, losing your identity. Once somebody takes that from you, it doesn't matter what you invent or what you do. They can claim it for themselves. Just think about it. If people could come and take you out your land and claim that land as theirs and colonize that land, you think they won't steal other things from you? I mean, y'all think it's impossible? If a country can fly 2 planes over to another country and drop an atomic bomb that they still feeling today, you think they can't blow up some Measy pipeline in the Baltic Ocean? The same people that drop crack in the hood, like everyone knows it. They make TV shows about it. How the CIA literally put crack in the hoods, like literally paid for it. And funded drug dealers to get people high. You think you're going to put past them anything? You can't. You got to really see what's going on.
Yep.
But the sad part is, the Bible been telling us. The Bible been telling us what's going on with our oppressors, with our enemies, because they're not your friend. No friend gives you crack. No friend gives you something. Gives you the ability to contemplate, do I keep my man or do I feed my kids? A true friend is going to say, hey, let me help you feed your kids and your man. But they gave the women food stamps. So now the ultimatum is food stamps or husband, right? Education or husband. Baby or career. Like these are all ultimatums that have been presented to our women to choose, be a mom or be an independent black woman. You got to look at the bigger picture, is all we're saying. Go ahead.
Go to Zechariah 14 and verse 12.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
All right, so Jerusalem, the 12 tribes, right? This is symbolic for the whole 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, down to Issachar, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. So the Most High is saying, this is the plague. This is how this is what's going to happen to everybody that's fought against us.
Their flesh
Uh-huh.
shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
Now, I love the scripture because you're definitely not going to hear about this in church.
Nope.
But this is a nuclear bomb. This is what I love going here because this is what happened in Japan when we was just talking about Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
So when they dropped them bombs in Hiroshima, well, that atomic bomb in Hiroshima, that was a military base, and they dropped it like when people were doing their commute. So it wasn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't a military base, but it was a military town.
Yeah.
But people, they dropped it while everybody was doing their commute, while kids was going to school, while people was on their way to work. It's like dropping
They were
a nuclear
exposed.
bomb in Norfolk, Virginia, a military town when everybody's outside
Rush hour.
in traffic, rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
So what happened was those people, while they were standing on their feet, it said their flesh consumed away, right? While they stood up on their feet.
Yep.
Read on.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
Go ahead.
And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Now understand, all this happened before their bones hit the ground. There's only one thing that's strong enough to do that on the earth. That was an atomic bomb, a nuclear bomb, and this was a prophecy that was going to be happening in this time. You see what I'm saying? There's no other fire that can get that hot for it to literally burn away your flesh, your eyes, your tongue, and all of it is just gone, and you're just bones before you even hit the ground.
Thermonuclear destruction.
It said it was so hot that the bodies left shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there, we're standing.
They just left their shadows, man.
Think about
Like
that.
the whole earth, like everything burned to a crisp. And that was just an atomic bomb. Now understand that a nuclear bomb is what? Thousands of times stronger than an atomic bomb?
Yeah.
And then understand that the Satan 2 is thousands of times stronger than a nuclear bomb. As if it wasn't enough. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the blast radius, the mushroom cloud, the nuclear fallout. That
Yep.
you talking about? You drop that in good old Middle America, and what's going to happen? Like he said, that thing can cover America if they wanted it to.
You know what's crazy? Like, it'll cover America if you dropped it in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I want y'all to consider that, if I'm not mistaken, I know Russia has the most nuclear bombs. America's second, but they got thousands. Like Russia got like damn near 7,000. America's close behind with 6. What do you need thousands for?
When it only takes a few,
You only need like
2 or 3.
You only need like 2 or 3 to like completely end America. You know what I'm saying? 2 or 3 to completely end Europe. Maybe 4 or 5 to completely end Russia. But they got thousands. It shows the madness, the psychoticness behind these people, man.
And they're strategically put in different places throughout the country. I remember I used to live literally next to one. I used to live in Colorado Springs, and you would drive past the Air Force Base. But they build it so beautifully, but there's a mountain. They got these Flatiron Mountains, they got these different mountains. Those mountains open up,
Yeah.
and you got missile silos. Come on, y'all watch movies.
Yeah.
Y'all watch movies with nuclear, and as soon as they press the button, they got silos opening up in the sea. Right? Remember one thing. You got ships and airplanes that carry nuclear payloads or nuclear warheads. So you got boats and submarines and fighter jets that have nuclear payload. But then you got the nukes that are in mountains and under the water. They press a button, that water opens up. You'll never believe it was there.
It's like the evil villain in the cartoons.
Yeah. He just got things just spread out. But they got them all across America.
God. Yeah, man.
But what are they, like he said, why do you need 1,000 missiles? For what? What's the plan? What's that?
Well, like, I don't know, but say if like we do, like US do try to attack Russia or something like that, but like they probably use those for defense. Like say if we shoot one, they gonna shoot one to like, blow it up before it can reach them, then they gonna shoot one just to go back and like
Yeah.
I don't know, but that probably just be something that, oh, I'm gonna have more than you, so when you run out, I'm still gonna be shooting at you. So,
Yeah. But then check this out. Guess what you have after that?
A huge
The
fallout.
nuclear radiation don't go nowhere but into the atmosphere. Now you got nuclear rain.
Yeah.
Now you got literal acid rain. And we know how the wind blows. That stuff is in the atmosphere. That's even worse because now wherever the wind wants to blow it, wherever the Most High decides for that to go. So you're going to shoot 2 nukes into the sky, crash them into each other, and then rain nuclear destruction where? On the people. What's that?
And then the explosion itself is going to scatter it.
Yeah. It's the explosion, then the mushroom cloud is what? Pushes that thing.
You gotta see, man, like the black rain, that acid
That's what it
rain,
is, the black
that's
rain,
real.
yeah.
Like,
That's what it is.
That happened in Hiroshima. Like after the people burnt up, the black rain started falling. The ones that survived,
They got hit with that.
I was like a little far out that survived. Their skins was burning. The rain was falling. They was all happy, but it was black. It was acid. Some of them drunk it. Yeah, man. So the Bible talks about it. The Bible talks about it, as y'all can see. So this is what's gonna be coming in the near future. So go to 2 Esdras 15 and 41.
And remember, this ain't to scare nobody. This is to show you that what? If you're not prepared,
Yeah.
if you're not prepared for, I've been wrestling with this concept. I'm gonna give it to y'all. The scriptures say, woe to you that desire the day of the Most High, right? In Amos. So the day of the Lord is not light, but darkness, clouds, and destruction, right? He said, what shall it be for you when I come? And I'm in my mind, I'm like, we read about the day of the Lord. We read about this destruction. There's different levels of scared, but who's really gonna be scared? The ones that are not prepared. The ones that when the Most High sends his son, you're gonna be caught up in what? Well, in the days of Noah, you're gonna be still partying, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage. You're gonna be caught up in whatever it is we get caught up in. Social media, chasing women, chasing men, chasing riches, chasing drugs. Whatever it is that we decide to chase now, if you don't get up off that, you're going to get caught up in that destruction. And it's going to come like, he said, like what? A thief in the night don't get you no warning. He give you some signs that, you got to get your thing right. You come test the locks, jiggle the door. But when he's ready to strike, he's not going to telegraph it. I'm here tonight to steal from you.
Yeah.
But he might go and test what is he doing? He goes, he's looking, he's scoping the air. Those are where the cameras at. So he got them cameras set up. He got the beware a dog sign, but does he really got a dog? Let me see. Kick the gate. I don't hear no dog. Okay, so that's a cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, a thief does that. They case the joint. That's what the Most High is doing right now. He's casing the place. These visitations are to see who's ready to get prepared.
Who's watching?
Who's watching? Who's taking what I'm saying and putting it into real life? Or are we just breezing it over like it's a comic book? Like, I can carry on and live my life, and then when I come, I can do the Lord's, what is it, the sinner's prayer? That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. He said, faith without works is dead. So you're not gonna be able to be wicked on this earth, and then halfway on your deathbed, all of a sudden I accept Jesus. Sorry, that's a lie. That's church. That's the comic book, though.
Yes.
That's the comic book. Don't that sound comical to you?
Yes.
Like, come on, you can just live how you want, And then when you're about to die, I'm gonna give it all to God. Why would he even want that? Ask yourself that. But he gives these warnings. He gives these slight nudges for us to sit back and think like, damn, what if I got caught up in these things? Listen, I got a nephew that got shot in his neck twice last night. And what did he want to do? He want to be the fake gangster, gun toting, weed smoking, beer drinking, fake thug. You just caught 2 in the neck. Half his body paralyzed. What you gonna do? You gonna wake up and think about your life and make changes, or you gonna now use this? Oh, I took 2 shots. I'm Superman. You gonna be the new 50 Cent, or you gonna be humble? See, the point is to be humble and think about yourself. Think about the changes, right? Don't get shot twice. You don't have to go through those things.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta get caught up in the destruction to see what's going on. You don't gotta OD on drugs. You don't gotta have suicidal thoughts. You don't have to be a victim of this world. You don't have to be. You see what I'm saying? But you do gotta wake the hell up and know that if you don't look well till you're going, you're gonna get caught up in these things and worse.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
You know, I was gonna say too. Oh, Yashkar, you had your hand up before I said what I'm saying.
No, just kind of retracting, but just on the verse that we were hearing on Zechariah, the brother was like, he was like, that's what the Bible says?
That's what the Bible says. Yeah, listen, this ain't church.
And then he was like, the Bible wasn't written yesterday.
Nah.
It was written thousands of years ago.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
No man is smart enough to put this in there.
Yeah.
Ain't no man smart enough to put these things. This is the Most High.
Yeah.
But these things were written, prophecy.
And you know, it's funny just about the specific chapter about like the nukes. When you read down, you see it's talking about the last days.
Yeah, because what you got to understand about like Ezekiel, Jeremiah, they did prophesy things for the time.
Yeah.
But then they also prophesied things for our time, for the last times. Even Esdras or Ezra, what he was being shown, it specifically tells us that he was being shown the end times.
Yep.
So don't get it twisted. Like, again, comic book, fiction, fairy tale. No.
Matter of fact, let's read verse 13 of that. Zechariah 14 and 13. You can hold that, Ezra.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 13.
So after your flesh consume away, your eyes and your tongue consume away in your mouth, read verse 13.
And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Most High shall be among them.
Go ahead.
And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor.
Why? Go ahead.
And his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
Yeah, it's not like, oh man, come here, let me. Nah, it's not gonna be.
Let me give you a hug.
Nah, it's not gonna be like, hey, let me help. Nah, it's gonna be survival. It's gonna be straight survival when this happened. Why? Because, come on, man, think about it. If a nuclear bomb drops here in America and everything in America messes up, right? That means no more 18-wheelers going to your grocery store, restocking the food. That means no more gas going to your gas station, restocking the gas. That means that everything, when that happens, falls apart and stops. That means that everybody's going to be against everybody.
Come on, let's be real. The coronavirus just hit, and look what happened at the grocery stores. Yeah. Come on, bro. Like, what does toilet paper have to do with a cough?
Right.
Niggas ran and got toilet paper, but didn't go get no vegetables. They went and got all the yeah, but you didn't get no vitamins. You didn't get no ginger. You didn't get what's that?
That's what my mom was showing me the news. She was like, why did they buy all the toilet paper? Like, what are they doing?
Nobody went and got. But think about it. If you go back, and I know we get so jaded, but we also get to the point where, you know, oh, that was the past, and then we look towards the future and we forget about the past. We're forgetful hearers. We forget what we see. But if you just tap back into those times, it wasn't like, oh, the shelves are empty, let me leave in peace. People were in them grocery stores fighting. people were robbing each other. You had people hoarding. Remember, they had one dude on the news. He had like 3 garages full of sanitizer.
Yes.
They were like, yo, you bought all the sanitizer from Amazon.
Yeah.
He literally bought all the hand sanitizer from Amazon. And then what did he say? Oh, I'm going to distribute it to the ones that need it. Because they put them on blast.
Yeah.
But when there's nobody to put them on blast, and you need water, who's going to distribute that? Who in here knows how to make a fire without going to your stove? What's the quickest thing to make a fire in your house right now? I'll give you something right now. The quickest thing to make a fire, the thing that'll kindle the fastest.
With no lighter?
No, you need some type of spark. Not even with a lighter. What?
The plug.
No. No.
Trying to
What?
electrocute
It's
this.
one of, I don't know exactly what it's called, but like that
But you need something to light that flint. You need some
the flint thing. You
Yeah.
need like cotton or like some type of grass. Dry
cotton
grass
or
something like that.
you know, your dryer,
Yeah, dry sheet.
the dryer lint
Oh,
that you throw away.
Oh, yeah.
It's highly flammable. It's super dry and it'll kindle just like that. Yeah, cotton. That's another one.
Survival.
Cotton. Well, you gotta know these things because the scriptures say faith without works is dead. I can have all the faith in the world that the Most High is gonna keep me alive, but He's not gonna come down a lot of fire for me. He gave me the ability to get knowledge and wisdom to learn how to light a fire in the time of need. You see what I'm saying? Who knows how to filter water if you had to? What do you need?
Well, you need to be able to boil it.
Okay, if you can't boil it.
It's like you get like a bottle with
Right.
like rocks, sand,
Right.
Just a
Rock, sand, and there's one more thing you need. Charcoal. Right? If you can't boil, and even boiling ain't gonna get all of it, but he's right. Big rocks, sand, charcoal. Pour the water, you can make it out of one of these. You flip it upside down, you get another one, rocks, charcoal, sand, water, it'll filter down, boom. And you'll get filtered water. It's little things like that. I mean, why are we collecting food cans and things like that? Is it only just for now?
No.
When Hurricane Harvey hits, do you sit there, or when a hurricane hit, when the hurricane hit, Harvey, right? Did we pray to God and then all of a sudden toilet paper and food just fell into the house? No, we put the work in, stored it up here at the school, so when it hit, everybody was able to do what? Hey, run to the school, this hurricane's about to hit, go get what you gotta get, put it in your house just in case, right? Faith without works, you gotta have a little bit of works behind your faith. It's not just gonna appear to you, but you gotta have the know-how. The Most High gave us wisdom and knowledge to be able to do these things, to look well to our goings. When it start hitting the fan, what you gonna do? When you have no phone, I keep asking the question, you gonna fail, but who can get around without a GPS? Can you get home right now without GPS? You better be able to. You better be able to look at landmarkers and know where you at. I'm not a Texas native. I can get anywhere I need to without looking. I know when I'm on the north side. I can just look at the damn buildings. I know when I'm on the south. I know when I'm on the east. I know when I'm on the west. I can just look at the way things are structured. It's different. But the white man does that so he understands how to get around. So what you got to think like in certain situations. The man that created everything for his way of getting around and surviving on this earth. Y'all see that? You got to know these basic things, man. It's basic little things. Who got first aid kit? Something happens. Who got a first aid kit with them? See, I keep one in my vehicle. Yeah, you just gotta. It's not being paranoid or scared, but you just never know. You know, these things are important. Where you at?
Verse 14.
Right.
No, let's go to 2nd Esdras 15 and 41.
2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 41.
Oh, these are my favorite chapters. The Esdras in the 15s and the 16s. Go ahead.
Fire and hail and flying swords.
Read that again.
Fire and hail and flying swords.
So again, we're reading future prophecies, right? So it says fire, hail, and flying swords. So even back then, think about it. You never saw nobody fight and then throw a sword. You held on to your sword. So the flying sword, what y'all think that is in today's time?
Jets, helicopters, bombers, planes.
You ever seen a missile fly through the sky? If you look at a missile flying through the sky, the missile looks just like a sword.
Like a glittering sword.
Yeah.
The glitter, it's
Like
funny, we don't go there
like it
next.
tells you in Job. Why did he say fire and hail and the flying sword? Like, just think about it. Like he said, like Fred
Yep.
said, what is a helicopter shooting out? What is these airplanes going to be shooting out? What are they shooting up into the sky just to let it drop right down? Their sword.
Let's go here. Hold that. Somebody give me Job 20 and verse 22. Just on the flying sword, right?
The Bible been talking about these things, man.
We're gonna hold that.
We at the point now. All it takes is one misunderstanding. That's all it takes with these countries. And you know what the saddest part is? They fighting each other, and we just caught in the middle. We just trying to live our lives, but we're caught in the middle of their shenanigans, right? They all willy-nilly with it.
We just trying to survive, but it's like I'll be saying during street speaking, man. Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah,
Just enjoy the show.
because one thing we do have to realize is that these things have to happen. They're biblical prophecies. Russia has to wake up and start fighting America and China and all these other countries. It has to happen for us to get the hell up out of here.
Okay. Let's read this. Job 20, verse 22.
The book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 22.
Check this out. Go ahead.
In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in strength.
So when he least expects it, he gonna be in some trouble.
The fullness of his sufficiency, when he's at in his mind, his top.
Yep.
Make America great again.
Oh man, you know what's cold though? That was their last time being at the top. If y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna show y'all something. When Trump was president, Trump did turn the economy around somewhat. Trump did do a lot of good things for America. I ain't even gonna lie. But Biden came and just said, screw all that. He raced to all that. So when you heard Trump talk about make America great, why do you think white folks love Trump so much? There was a reason why they loved him so much, because he did do decent things for America, truthfully, if I'm being honest.
Financially, because he's a financial mind.
Yeah.
He's a business-minded man, so he made sure that business and corporations succeeded.
Yep.
But that didn't help me.
It didn't help us, of course.
That didn't help nobody, except for the business people. Right?
So, they thought America was back on top, but it's funny. It says when they felt like that, that's when they're going to be in great straits, great trouble. Read on.
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
You see that? Every hand of the wicked. That's why we always talk about, this isn't the scripture, but we always talk about how, it's a scripture, I got to find it, where it says, everybody's going to betray him. It's talking about this. Every hand of the wicked is going to come upon this place. Why? Because America has screwed every other country. So all these other countries that America thought was friends, they're going to come and be against America at some point. Read verse 23.
Just think about it. If America is guilty of blowing up this pipeline,
they screwed all Europe.
First of all, Germany is a NATO country. That's supposedly a NATO ally. Why would you do that? I mean, I have a reason. I have an idea of why America would have done it. They don't want Germany to get back and lead with Russia.
Yeah.
It was a tactic to cut off that relationship, because Germany is gas dependent on Russia. But now you're gonna sabotage. But let's just think about all the things that America has brought through their policies, right? America is the safe haven for all negative. They call him Big Brother, right? What does Big Brother do? Don't he teach the example to little brother? So just think about it. When you have your rise in homosexuality across the world, who's pushing that? America. Specifically when they had Obama in presidency, they had him touring the world to ease up these sanctions on homosexuality, or we're going to sanction you harder. and legalizing weed. Don't you know that all happened at the same time? The legalizing drugs and the homosexuality push on these third world and African countries. That was Obama that did that. He pushed that hard, those policies, right? And not just that, but just the idea that, just think about what's going on in Iran. Think about, you see what's going on in Iran, right? You got these women, they're literally going against their religious institution that as much extreme as they are, when you look at countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, I would rather live there than America. Why? Because there's some level of decency. I don't have to walk through the streets and see a chick in her underwears, right? I don't have to, I can walk through the streets and know that their religion at least keeps things in a point of order. You see that? There's some order out there, but now go look, there's disorder. Why? Because what are they following? That American mind state. We're gonna riot, we're gonna protest, we're gonna fight for our rights. What rights? Just think about this. Women done fought for their rights since the feminist movement began. And a lot of women wish they could get them rights back. A lot of women are saying, damn, we messed up. The white man done convinced women that they're not women and that they can be men. And guess what? Look at the result. Look at your children. Look at yourself. Look at your, they say women now are more unhappy than ever. But y'all got the most freedom. But America pushed that, and they pushing that to all these other countries like, oh, you're oppressed because you cover your hair. How? You're oppressed because you wear a dress. That's how America pushes it. No, girl, be free. Walk around in your Vicky C's, right? Body shaming, slut shaming. These are the ideas that America pushes. And who are they pushing them to? These other countries. But when they realize and wake up like, wait a minute, democracy is destructive, right? Because it is. Every country that America has went into and gave their democracy, look at them. Look at their country. Go to Kuwait. Look at Afghanistan. They ain't got no government. The Democrat ran, right? Just go to these countries and look. Do your research. You'll see that democracy ain't helping these countries. They were better off before America showed up. Yep. So they're gonna be pissed off, man. Because you fed us this idea of democracy and freedom, but at what cost? What cost did the black woman get freedom in America? The liberated sexual liberation and the ability to get abortions and birth control and participate in pornography. At what cost did it cost our women? Well, now a lot of them aren't women. That's the problem. Now we don't have families. There's no black family. There's no wives. There's none of that. It's chaos. Just go and, man, just watch the news. Jump on TikTok. I don't know. Jump on, all you gotta do is look at any reel on any social media. Instagram reel, YouTube reel, TikTok reel, and that's the epitome of black people. What's that?
Okay, so I don't know if it's true, but I was on Instagram and I seen Instagram, TikTok in China, they don't show the stuff that they show.
Yeah.
They show really
wholesome Christian values.
Yeah. But here they show all the.
First of all, they'll cut the internet in China. If you go to China, they don't even have Google. They got their own search engine because what they're saying is we're going to take responsibility. I know it kind of sounds kind of weird, but they're taking responsibility for what the people see. They're dictators. Right now, I'm not saying that we need to be dictated, but if you go to places like China, the moral fabric is a little bit more upheld. There's no morality in America. Why? Because it's all based on being free, right? Love is love. You only live once, young, wild, and free. Like, just think about those sayings, and they push them to who again?
Israelites.
They push them first to black people, the black woman, Then they push them to the children. First of all, let's be real, man. The white man got his family. They still believe in family. They still believe in family values. They still believe in when we all get home, we're going to have dinner at the kitchen table. While they got us at the kitchen table plugged in with AirPods, and this is all we care about. Is living the American dream, not talking to each other, not communicating with each other. You ask your kids how their day is, they can't even respond. They got you learning off of memes. Come on, man. The average white family, we always talk about the average white family's worth compared to the average black family. We ain't worth nothing even monetarily. Why? Because we're not putting anything of worth in our minds. They're always doing what? Educating themselves, but sticking to core. They always talk about core family values. That ain't being pushed to us. They telling our women, go be strippers. Go chase a bag. Go get you a BBL, and you don't need no nigga. That's what they tell our women. How do they tell our women? Again, music, media. Megan Thee Stallion, they pushing her out there like she's some new philanthropist. She's so great. She did this for the community. Who gives a damn? She did more destruction. She did more destruction. They got Kodak Black. Oh, he helped 28 families not forfeit on their rent or whatever the case may be. Who gives a damn? Because when you listen to what he's talking about, it's more destructive than the help that he's giving. He's destroying the masses through his message. You can help 28 families. I'm with it. But how many families did you destroy talking about crack, drugs, guns, killing people, Zopound, this, that, and the third? And what's even worse is that's a man that sat in class and learned who he was from brothers. Yeah. That's the worst part about it. He sat in class down there in Florida and brothers taught him his nationality and what he should be doing. And what did he do? Nope. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna be a demon. That's what he's on, demon time. So just ask yourself, man, who's pushing these things? Why are these things happening? Again, I'm gonna keep sounding repetitive, but I want y'all to think. Who's pushing these ideas that they're not following? They'll tell you they have Beyonce out there talking about single ladies. She's been married 20 damn years. They got Bacardi B or whatever the hell. They got her out there parading around Bodak Yellow, but she's married. She even said her own daughter don't listen to her music. So why do your kids? She won't let her daughter listen to her music. But we got our kids twerking and breakdancing to Cardi B. Does that make sense? Really, does it? No. So don't the brain gotta click and say, wait, what's the agenda? What's going on here? Why is it happening? When's the last white rapper that got shot for his jewelry? Now I'm gonna show y'all something. If you look at the top 5 highest selling artists, albums in rap history, Eminem got the 3 top selling albums in rap history. Eminem, Biggie, Eminem, BC Boys, and then Eminem, top 5. How many times Eminem done been robbed? The nigga done went diamond 1,000,000 times and ain't never been robbed. Why? Because somebody's telling him, bro, don't go over there with that jewelry on. Don't go over there with them chains on. You got it, but you're going to invest that. Not in no chains, because it ain't worth it. Not in no car. Like, somebody's telling them something different than what they telling us is the point. So the Most High got to do this stuff to them. He got to get some repay. Y'all get it, right? Part of my tone. You got your hand up.
Well, it's like, I'm not trying to say it, but us, like, blacks, like, when we get out of, like, the hood or the trenches, we get money, like, of course you're going to get money, like, 10 million or whatever, you start rapping, of course you're going to get that, but we want to go out and flex. Oh, I got this, I got that.
Yeah.
I got my car, I got this. Well, check out, what's his name, Jay Youngin. Bro, you got a blue C8 in the hood, like a bright blue C8 in the hood. You know, they like.
But who is he flexing on? His own people. That's the problem. We're taught to flex on each other. I don't need to flex for you, and you ain't got to flex for me. If you got it, cool. But are you going to do something for me if I needed it? But that's the problem with our people. We all know that, so what we got to go do? Well, I got to go take that. Come on, they just found the kid that killed PMB. He was 17 years old, him and his dad. A 17-year-old bro and his dad. The dad was a getaway driver. Think about that. This is what our people are teaching their sons. How to kill people for jewelry. A 17-year-old, his life is over. Over. All for what? A chain that he couldn't even wear? He couldn't pawn, he couldn't sell. Just think about the mentality though. But that's us. Eminem ain't doing that. The Beastie Boys ain't doing that. All these rappers that you know, all these musicians, why Garth Brooks ain't getting robbed? Nigga got dough. He's one of the highest grossing recorded artists ever in history. He was going diamond before it was popular. He got millions. But you would never look at that white boy and tell, because they know. They know how to fly under the radar, but make you have to flex to prove your what? Your fake worth? Your fake wealth? To who though? To who? See, the Most High got to come back and destroy a mentality. He's going to destroy it in our people. Remember, them missiles ain't just for them nations. It's for us too. It's for the rebellious of our people that don't want to get right. They're going to get caught up in this.
Yes, sir.
Don't think it's, oh, the white man's going down. Well, you thinking like him?
That's why you was bringing out the day of the Lord. What
Yeah.
shall it be for you?
What is it going to be for you? Because if your mind is geared to what the white man wants it to be, then guess what? You deserve a nuclear missile also. You deserve whatever's coming to you. But that's why our people, they die in the streets. It says we die like dogs, man. We die. We die in these bad ways, man. And then that's when we want to call on God. It's too late. But read where you at.
Now let's go to
You know what I mean?
let's go to 2 Peter 3:10.
Second Peter, chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
So again, a prophecy, right? So it says it's going to come as a thief in the night. It says the heavens is going to pass away with a great noise. So imagine that explosion. Go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Then it says after the explosion, after the loud noise, the elements is gonna melt with fervent heat. Not be on fire, but melt. For something to melt, that heat is crazy.
Thousands of degrees.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The earth also, and the works that are therein, shall be burned up.
Everything gonna be on fire.
No, there's a ghetto in heaven. Read it again.
The earth also, and the works.
No, there's homosexuality in heaven.
And the works.
Transgenderism.
And the works.
Hate.
And the works.
Envy.
And the works.
Jealousy.
And the works.
Niggerism.
And the works.
Go ahead.
Therein shall be burned up.
Yeah, don't think like, oh, I'm gonna make it because like I'm 5'3" with nice eyes. 36, 24, 36. The BBL ain't making it.
Nope. That's
Definitely
getting
ain't
burnt
making
up.
It ain't making it.
That's definitely getting burned.
That BBL mentality, there's a mentality behind that.
Yeah.
But that ghetto thug logic, that ain't making it neither. I don't even want to go if it's gonna be there.
Right.
What?
And it also goes beyond like just being, I'm a good person. I'll be nice to everybody.
Yeah, good people ain't making it. Sorry. It says the righteous, thank you. It said the righteous shall scarcely make it. So you can't just be a good person and I'm gonna stroll on into the kingdom, whistling and skipping. No, you would have to prove yourself. See, and this is the problem with, again, systematically destroying us and having us thinking one thing where the Bible says another. This is the problem with religion. Religion tells you, oh, just be a good person. Well, define that. Because being a good person is subjective. The good that you might do might not be the good that I might do.
Right.
It's good to not sleep with another man's wife. Right? But if I don't like that man? Right? What if I don't know that man? Oh, I ain't gonna sleep with my brother's wife. But you gonna sleep with a stranger's wife? See, good is subjective. The Most High tells us what's good. So it ain't, oh, I'm gonna make it because I'm a good person. I'm glad you said that. We gotta get that out of our minds. You gotta be following what the Most High wants. Yeah. This is the, you know how you go to any theme park, any movie theater, and you gotta have what?
The ticket of admission.
You gotta have that admission, that ticket. Here you go. Here. This is your admission. It says one only. Nobody could jump on your back and slide in with you. Nobody could, you know how they put the long thing and you get on their shoulders and you make yourself like one person in the TV shows? Nah. Huh?
The trench coat.
Yeah, you put the trench coat on and somebody's hiding on your shoulders and nope. What you do is going to determine if you make it. So we got to understand that. We got to understand. That's why it's important to read.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
So y'all see that? It says, seeing all these things are going to happen, what kind of person are you going to be? You going to make it or not? Like, I love everything he just said. Like a good person, so what? If your good doesn't match up with the Bible and the scriptures, like, it don't matter. It don't even matter, like, what we consider good is. The only thing that matters is if the Most High consider you to be good or not.
We don't even know what good is, man.
No.
We don't even know what good is if it kicked us in the rear end. Mm-hmm. We think good is making ourselves feel better for whatever it is or appeasing certain fleshly things. That's good. That's not what the Most High wants. He said those that abstain, those that overcome. Well, what do I got to overcome? I got to overcome those appetites. I got to overcome the flesh, the yearning, whatever's pulling me away from the Most High. That's what I got to overcome. Y'all see that? You had your hand up.
Just on the aspect of good, right? It's like good people went into slavery. They didn't get saved. So
yeah, a lot of good people went into slavery,
right,
along with a lot of bad people.
Right.
It was good of our people that went to slavery. There's good of our people that get killed daily. But what are they doing what have they done according to the scriptures?
Right.
We're not going to get judged off if you were good or not. He said when he puts all flesh in front of him and judges, he's going to open the book of life and the books, right? To do what? To judge and say, did you live according to the law or not? Your life matched up with what I wanted you to do. Oh, damn, he messed up here. Oh, damn. Oh, gosh. Messed up here. Oh, wow. Damn. And he just going to go down the line.
Yeah.
Like a clipboard. And he just going, nope. See, I remember when you was talking crazy. All right, see, I remember when you was doing that. Oh, drugs. Oh, alcohol. Oh, damn, adultery. Oh, wow, this. Oh, that. He's going to be checking them down the list. How you live matched up to the scriptures. That's what you're going to be judged by. I mean, what else? Isn't it fair?
You know, one thing that we got to remember, man. Remember this. No unclean thing can go into the temple of God. You read in the Old Testament, anything unclean is not allowed.
Yep.
So, what makes you think that anything unclean is going to make it to heaven? Like, you got to be pure. So, you know how church taught you about grace and mercy and Jesus died, so you got grace. You got grace. You got.
And that's
true.
true.
What they tell you.
But it's true, right? It is true.
It is true, but they don't tell you what you were supposed to use that grace for. Like, yes, he died for you,
And that's the point.
but they never told you, like he died for you, but this is your opportunity to get yourself right to be able to make it. He didn't die for you so you could just live however way you wanted to live. You see what I'm saying?
Because they'll tell you, oh, Jesus died. Like, so Jesus died for you to be a faggot? That's why he died? He died for you to go cut it off, flip it inside out, and call yourself a woman? So that's why Christ died. I mean, is that why he died? He died for you to be prideful? So Jesus died for you to just continue to be prideful. Does that even make sense? Oh, he died for you to eat whatever you want. That's why he went and hung himself up on that cross. So you can kill yourself. But that's the logic.
Yeah.
Again, that's the logic behind what the basis of what religion teaches us. Is that Jesus died so you can just be who you are. We know that's not true. We know that's not true. When he was dealing with the apostles, what was the whole purpose of walking with them for 3 years and telling them, hey, you, come with me. I'll teach you how to be fishers of men. If it was, be who you are, he would have said, you know what? Keep fishing. But he said, drop your nets and come with me. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to change you. Right? What would be the point of that if it was stay how you are? See, that's the lie. The grace has given us the opportunity to change who we are into who we should be, according to the scriptures. Y'all see that?
Can I ask y'all a question? Let me ask y'all a question just off of the conversation that we're having. What do y'all think in this day and time? What do y'all think the point of your life is?
To serve the Most High.
There's that, but think about your life. For everybody. What do you think? What do you think you're here for? Not just serving the
Your
Most High,
purpose,
not
right?
just keeping the commandments. Like
what's our purpose?
every soul individual in here. Why are you here? You had your hand up
not
first,
to
and then
raise
you.
the roof. Go ahead, hand up.
What's like the soul? Let me reword it before y'all answer. What's the main point of you living right now in these times? What is the main thing that you have to look at and what your focus should be on every day? What's the main point? Why are you here right now?
To save other souls.
There's that, but there's something that got to happen before even that.
Mm-hmm.
What comes to my mind is to be able to change. And
That's
show
it.
People
That's it. It's
change.
change. It's change. Because like we're talking about, certain like just because you're this and just because you're that, like it don't mean you're making it to heaven. No unclean thing made it into the temple in the Old Testament when you read. If you was dirty, if you was filthy, the high priest, if he had certain thoughts, any negative thoughts, he'll drop dead in that temple.
Yep.
That's why we on our garments we have bells. We have bells, because if them bells stop, as the priest will be moving around, you'll hear the bells.
They tie that rope around his foot.
Yeah, and if that high priest fell, he went into that certain area where nobody else could go. If you stopped hearing that bell, and you, yo, you good, bro? They tied that rope around his leg so you could pull him out, because he's dead. Now I'm bringing that up because, like, sometimes we think it's a game. Like the Most High is just going to accept us. No, the hell he's not, and I get it. That's what the world taught. That we just going to be accepted the way we are. It don't work like that. You, like this time that you have right now is for you to change, is for you to fight. I was going to go to it in Revelations, but it talks about it. It names it a whole bunch of times in the Revelations. He that endureth unto the end shall be saved. He that endureth unto the end shall have right to the tree of life. He that endureth till the end shall this. He that endureth till the end shall that.
Yeah, overcome.
He that overcome. That's what it is. He that overcome. He that overcome. He that overcome.
Revelations 2, Revelations 3, Revelations 4. Like,
what are you overcoming?
Saying it. Revelations 7.
Let me ask you a question. What is it that you're overcoming? You ever thought about that? Like, what are you overcoming? What is the fight? What is there to overcome? What is it? What is it? Do I got to overcome the white man?
So these are your worries.
Yeah.
It's not even just the flesh. What is it? What are you overcoming every day?
Yourself.
Yourself.
What about yourself?
Like,
Uh,
Like life distractions, like everything that's supposed to keep you down.
but
You want me to just tell y'all?
Oh,
It's the mind.
yeah.
It's your mind. You got to overcome your mind.
That's overcoming yourself.
Yeah, no, I know. I just wanted to say, what about yourself? I wanted them to kind of.
Oh well, sorry.
But no, I mean,
it's your mind.
Y'all are right.
I was looking specifically for your mind.
Yeah.
Because your mind, remember Yahweh Shai said, it's not what goes in, but it's what comes out, and those things that come out proceed from the mind, proceed from your heart or your mind.
And that's
so
what defiles a man.
think about it. Every negative deed, every evil, every bad thought, every wickedness, before it manifests, it starts in your mind. Every weakness, before it becomes a weakness that is manifested, it starts in your mind. It starts as a thought that you dwelled on, that you chose to take action on, that you chose to give yourself to. You see what I'm saying? And I get it. You know why I get it? Because I'm in it too. Everybody's in it. This is the condition of the battle that man is born to fight. It's your mind.
Yep.
It's your mind. And what all Esau does, because the devil, Satan can't make you sin, but all Esau does is present everything in the world for you to fall. Everything.
He makes it look good so you don't have to fight. He makes it look good so you don't even feel like you have a chance. Like you'll tell yourself, I don't stand a chance against my weaknesses, my vices, and he makes a way for you to literally not see the out. Most High said with every temptation there's a what? Come on, y'all. With every temptation there's a what?
Escape.
Yeah, there's an escape or a way out.
Way out, yeah. Yes, sir.
But the way things are presented to us, you'll feel like there's no way out from whatever it is that you're dealing with. And he made a way. He gives you all the different types of ammo to be able to fight a temptation. Right? He gives you all the different weapons. Remember, your weapons are not just you, they're spiritual, but that's what the body and the brothers and the sisters, right, bearing the infirmities of the weak. But you got to use those weapons, right? If you're dealing with something, I can't read your mind. I can't, like, oh my gosh, he's dealing with something right now. Let me make a phone call. You gotta have a little bit of strength in you and say, you know what, I'm dealing with whatever it is. Let me make a phone call. Or let me set up some prayers, or let me do something spiritual to combat the demon that's on me. Right? And sometimes it's just what? Christ said, the Bible says, just resist the devil and he'll flee. But these are not the things that we're being taught to do. These are not the things that our oppressors in the world, this is not what they're on. They're on give in and just give in to your lust. Right? Well, look at the world. The world is one big melting pot of lust. Any which way you bend it, it's all about the flesh, like it says in John, the flesh, the pride of life, and the lust of the eyes. If I see it, I want it. If you got it, I'm taking it. I need to feel good. I need to look good. Like, that's all it's about. But again, just ask yourself, why is that mentality being pushed on us? Why they ain't pushing you into doing good? Y'all ever think about that? Like, damn, there's so much good that could be done. How come that's the people, the powers that be? How come they don't push the people to do good things? If it was about guns and gun restriction, why don't you just stop making guns? If it was about drugs and drug restriction, why don't you just stop making drugs? But they'll always come up with a reason. Right? Think about it. Let me just ask y'all this. Does the Bible talk about abortion?
No.
When it tells you about a woman being raped, does it tell you about abortion? Right? It don't. But the white man will invent a reason for abortion. He'll say, well, but in the case of rape. Okay, well, all 350 million of those black abortions ain't rape. That's irresponsible ass women that just want to open their legs up and have fun and philander around the earth.
It's literally like 1% of abortion.
Thank you.
Rate, like if not less than 1%.
But even the Bible don't talk about that. Even the Bible don't say, you know what, if a woman is raped, take her down to Planned Parenthood and Plan B it. It don't go into that. You see that? It doesn't tell us that those are the judgments that you do with that. You see that? But who invented, oh, well, let's do it because that's the good cause. See how what's good to us ain't good to the Most High? Mm-hmm. Going back to the point. But where you at?
Verse 12. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 12.
You're going to read to verse 14.
Looking forward and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire.
You see that? So the day of God, the heavens is going to be what?
On fire.
So I love this spelling. I love this spelling, this lie that the churches tell you about a rapture. Raise your hand if you ever heard about a rapture. Y'all know the word rapture is not even in the Bible? Did y'all know that? The word rapture is not in the Bible. You can go on your Bible app, type in rapture, and nothing comes up. But they tell you that you're going to float up in the sky and meet Christ. That's true. You are going to float up in the sky and meet Christ. That's true. But they ain't tell you how it's going to happen. It's telling you everything is going to be on fire. The world is going to be ended. The world is going to be getting destroyed. And that's when he's going to pick the good ones, the ones that he wants to go ahead and make it. But they tell you just going to be living your life, and then the rapture is going to be happening, and you just going to be like, what the hell? And then you just going to carry on and live your life even more, and then wait for the second coming. And wait for something else to happen for them to take you up again. But that's where they talk about the 7-year tribulation period. That when the rapture comes, and after that you got the 7-year tribulation period.
I don't want it.
Like,
why would there be tribulation if Christ is here? But then think about it. Just think about the concept.
The concept,
if
how they
the
tell
kingdom is already prepared and it's supposed to come down to us, then why do we got to go up to it? It's supposed to come down to us. Mm-hmm. But they don't teach you that the kingdom is here on earth, that it will be on earth. They don't teach you that. They teach you that, oh, you're going to be in the sky just floating around like Casper. I mean, let's be real. We're not going to be a bunch of ghosts just floating around.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth
as it is in heaven. So, but it says that the kingdom is already prepared and it's going to come down to earth, and we're going to be in the kingdom. It's no different than any other kingdom that ever happened. Solomon's kingdom is the best depiction, but they don't teach us these things. They make you try to believe in ghosts and fairy tales, and then guess what you do? You take the Bible and act like it's fake because they mystify the mysticism behind the Bible. They make it into this ghouls and goblins type of thinking. It's real. This is a real deal.
Real deal, Holyfield. Yeah.
Right? Where you at?
Being on fire.
Being on what?
Fire shall be dissolved. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
So again, he's asking you, how are you going to be knowing that these things are coming? What kind of man, what kind of woman are you going to be when these things are taking place? There's only two ways. You're either going to be saved and protected from this, or you're going to be a part of that fire that's burning up and make the fire burn even stronger. You're going to be saved, or you're going to be one of the ones that the fire was sent for. And again, that fire is going to be thermal nuclear destruction. Them bombs is going to be going off any and everywhere. So it don't matter where you want to hide, what country you want to run to, it doesn't matter. Everywhere is about to be on fire. The second death, as they call it, right? So just like the Most High destroyed the whole earth with a flood during Noah's time, he gave the rainbow so you know you don't got to worry about the water. This time it's going to be fire. Read on.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
And that's what we're trying to push for. Because after this earth gets burnt up and the heavens is melted, it's going to be a new earth, new heaven. Read on.
Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things.
He said, do what?
Look for such things.
The righteous are going to be doing what?
Look for such things.
Yeah, we're going to be looking for this type of salvation.
Yeah.
We're not going to be looking on our phones at what the Kardashians is talking about. Right? You're going to be looking, how do I make sure that I don't fall into this destruction?
Yep.
Where's my spirit at? I'm going to be, like the scriptures say, examining myself whether I be in the faith. That's what we're going to be looking for.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Be diligent.
Be what?
Diligent.
You better stay on top of it.
Yep.
You better stay on top of it. Paul said it. You better run your race with patience and with consistency. He said you fight, but not as one that beateth the air. Right? You sitting there shadow boxing, but it's a real fight. He said you better fight like there's something in front of you to fight. Go ahead.
That ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless.
And that's what it is. That's what it is. So you're trying to keep your mind on point. You're trying to keep your mind, man, on point, so that you can be found without spot, and you can be found blameless. No sins. You can't be blamed for anything. Ain't no spot. You pure. You see what I'm saying? Because again, it's not going to be in heaven. That's why it's going to be heaven. Because all the things that we entertain, all the wickedness, all the negativity that we entertain, it's not going to be there. You see what I'm saying? So imagine, I want y'all to think about it like this. You got this place where the filth of the world has never touched. Right? The filth of the world can't enter. Why would the Most High let you enter with filth? If filth has never been there. It's going to spread like wildfire. The negative mentality, the things that we were supposed to get rid of here, if that doesn't change, then when heaven comes, say you just let one person in that's like that, it can spread. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we here for, man.
Yeah, the Most High said, be ye holy because I am holy. So remember, all the things that we're fighting for are literal representations of Christ. Literal representations of the Most High. They're literal representations. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Just when you think about the heavens, just ask yourself, why is it that when you watch your TV shows and all your movies, they always show the heavens as this pure white, just lit up, illuminated place? Because what is that supposed to represent? What?
Purity.
Purity. Right? Righteousness. Why is hell this dark, gloomy, fiery place? Because that's supposed to represent the death and the destruction. Right? So just think about it. If they already program your mind either which way, but then the scriptures is coming back and telling you that nothing filthy can enter into this place. Well, remember, we're in hell right now. We are in hell on earth, going through hellish conditions. Ain't nothing pure about the ghetto. Ain't nothing pure about the slums. There's nothing pure right now, even just about when you look at our people, when you look at this earth as a whole, it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Yeah. So just think about it. The ruling regime of the earth, the mentality is wicked. Right? So that's what, like he just said it, that's what we're fighting against. Right? The scriptures say your war is not carnal but spiritual, mighty to the pulling down of strongholds. Right? And everything that exalts itself against Christ. But what does Christ represent? Just think about what he represents and think about what is trying to come up against Christ. It's not that hard to get. Not at all. But then now you got to think about it. Why do we got to fight and walk like Christ walked? So we can dispel all the negatives that daily attack us, minute by minute, hour by hour. You getting what? You getting infiltrated. Don't you get it? Every time you open your eyes, that's an infiltration. Because there's something negative there to sway your mind away from a righteous thought. Everything you be listening to, everything we see, everything we eat, everything you consume, anything that can be consumed with your eyes, your mouth, anything you can feel. It's a literal attack on your senses. It's an attack on your mind state, right? So you got to be more guarded up. That's why, what does the scriptures talk about? Doesn't it talk about, when you read Ephesians, he tells you to gird up yourself, right? As a what? And it is a man of war. Helmet of salvation, shield, sword, boots. That sounds like a cat that's about to go to war to me. Right? What you need a sword for? I'm about to go fight. What I need a shield for? I got to defend myself in that fight. But he says to put this on daily, hourly, the spiritual armor, right? Why? Because there's daily, minute by minute, hour by hour, second by second, Satan is always on the attack. And as soon as you let your guard down, it's curtains. You're going to go right where he wants you to go. Where we at?
Oh, that's it. That was it.
Any questions? We usually try to finish on time. Any questions on that? I mean, again, this ain't to scare nobody. This ain't no scare tactic. But like Paul said, we knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. We know the terror of the Lord. We know. We know what we don't know. There's some things out there you haven't seen yet that the Most High is ready to unleash. And you don't want to get caught up in it, man. Yeah. Can I just read one thing? We didn't go to it, but I just want to read it. Go to 2 Esdras 9, verse 1, and we're just going to read it down real quick. And this is what we're going to end it on, and this is what we got to remember. Read that. 2 Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1.
2 Esdras chapter 9 verse 1.
Right?
He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Yeah, look at the times that we're in. Measure it. Look at it. Take a look. Diligently. Don't let time pass you by. Look at what's going on. Read.
And when thou seest part of the signs past.
When he said when you see what?
When thou seest part of the signs past.
All those signs that Christ was talking about in Matthew's the 24th chapter. Nation against nation. Uprisings. Earthquakes. This, that, and the third. He said when you see these signs. Now remember. What's the one thing that throws people off? Well, we've been in the end times since the death of Christ. We've been in the end times for 2,000 years, if y'all didn't know that. So that's where men get, wait a minute, hold up, but we've been going through this forever. Yeah, you're right. But now look at the frequency of things. Go ahead. I mean, how many more earthquakes can Mexico take? It just got hit 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Y'all know that, right? 7-point-something earthquake. How many more hurricanes can this place take? Florida. It's ready to fall off the damn map. How many more hurricanes can the islands take? Puerto Rico. Come on, bruh. Yeah. Like, that little old island can only take so much punishment. Right? Go ahead.
Which I have told thee before.
Right?
Then shalt thou understand.
This is the point. We should be understanding what time it is. Looking at the signs, putting it with the prophecies, looking at the scriptures, and saying, you know what? We may not know the day, the hour, but we know the times that we're in the end. This ain't the beginning of the end. This is the end of the end. We're in the tail end of the end. Go ahead.
That it is the very same time.
Right.
Wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right. And we talked about how he's visiting. Right. Go ahead.
Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes,
right,
and uproars.
Remember, there was a time in history when there were no uproars on this level. Go ahead.
Of the people in the world.
Think about it. Just go through all the countries. They're rioting everywhere. Everywhere you go, they're rioting, man. In these little small countries and big Russia, we know they're rioting in Russia, rioting in Ukraine, rioting in Iran. Syria is always rioting. And guess what? Good old US of A. They stay on a riot out here. They stay on a riot for some reason. Somebody's picketing something. Go ahead.
Then shalt thou well understand,
right,
that the Most High spake of those things
Right.
From the days that were before thee.
You see that? These things been happening way before our time and spoken about way before our time. Before the AD. These been talking about in the BC. Right? These things were given to Moses. Go ahead.
Even from the beginning.
Go ahead.
For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end.
And this is what you got to remember. As everything has a beginning, it also got to end. This world is not going to last forever, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what they tell you. Oh, so, in 100 years from now, we're going to be blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. But it's not going to last forever. America is not lasting forever. No wicked kingdom ever has. That's how you know. Just show me. From the Assyrians to the Greco-Roman Empire, what empire lasted forever? That was wicked. That did the things that America promotes and does. Goes to war for no reason. Robs, rapes, and steals. Sis, the bathroom's right back there if you need to go. Right? Go ahead.
And the end is manifest.
Right? How is it manifest? Through the signs and through the times. Go ahead. Through the things that we got to go through and fight daily. That's how they're being manifested. When they want to feed your kids fentanyl candy. When you got men that want to rape men. When you got women acting like men and men acting like women. That's how these things are being manifested. Through the death and the destruction. Go ahead.
Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings.
Right.
In wonders.
Right.
And powerful works.
Go ahead.
And endings in effects and signs.
Right. So the beginnings were just plain, but the end is going to be a spectacle. It's going to be a show. It's going to be like that 4th of July when you look up and you're like, oh, wow, a lot of lights out. Right? And a lot of things are going to be, I mean, I do it every day. I just be like, wow, that's crazy. Wow, wow. Every day I'm saying wow to something. I'm wowed. The Most High wows me. I'm like, wow, that happened? Wow. I'm like, you ever just, wow. It's like, I get phone calls, bro. I'm getting all these phone calls lately. All these young kids that I know. And I'm just like, wow. That's what you got to go through to get it? So, I'm going to leave it there. We gotta wake up. We gotta see what's going on, man. We gotta see what's going on. We gotta change. You gotta make little small changes, little things, man, daily, to try to get right with the Most High. That's what it all boils down to. He wants you to change, but not from better to worse, worse to better. He wants you to change into that fine goal that He wants you to be. Mm-hmm. He wants you to change according to His word. You see that? Let me just check something real quick. I have one more on my mind. I have one more on my mind. No, it's all good. Any questions on that?
Love.
All right. What we got coming up? Day of Atonement.
Day of Atonement.
Right. Well, we announced it. We got Tabernacles coming up. Remember, on the 16th and 17th, we're gonna be meeting up with San Antonio to do that. Those 2 days. That's the 16th and 17th of what month are we in? October. Right. It's gonna be the 16th, 17th of October. Right? Right. So. Yeah. So those are the few. We got Day of Atonement before that, and we'll announce all these things daily. Garment money for Passover. I gotta say it. Get that in. They got the sign up sheet, right? Got the sign up sheet. Sign up. You get your size and all that different stuff. And I think the prices might be on there.
Yes.
Yeah, they are on there. Yeah, get your garment money in. We got to get that in early. The earlier the better, so they can order stuff and have room for mistakes if there are any. We know how it goes. They get to this point where Passover hits in April and all of a sudden everything's crammed in and it's just bad. Other than that, that's it, right? All right, well, let's say shalom to everybody online.